Eli. Today we are talking about books for upper elementary age kids. They don't have to be boys. We wanted to share some of what he's already read this year, as well as some things that are on our wish list. So here we go.
Oh!
First series we want to talk about is called Raising Dragons.
Yeah, currently I'm on book 4. I think it's a really good series.
My husband actually picked this book up for my son a couple years ago when we were at a homeschool conference, and he started reading the series to all of the boys, but it was a little too much, too scary for some of the younger ones. But this kid decided he wanted to keep going with it. Eli, tell us a little bit more about what parents should expect the book to be in the book.
It's kind of hard to explain. It deals with like spiritual realms and Bible verses, but also intertwined with King Arthur myths and dragons.
How do you tie in like King Arthur and Bible? I mean, a lot of good versus evil. The kids actually find out that they're kind of dragons. It's an ancestral thing that's been passed down. So anyway, it has kept him really entertained. He has just spent hours going through these and reading it, and on book 4 just finishing that up. So if you are interested, check out Dragons in Our Midst. And Eli, I actually have a surprise for you. We received a package in the mail from the author with his newest book, which was done along with Mark Hancock, who is the director of Trail Life. It's like Boy Scouts for Christians. And so this is his newest book. It's called Flight of the Falcon.
I'm gonna need to read it.
I figured you'd be pretty excited about this. This might be a really good one to check out for your kids going into the Christmas season. We will keep you updated with what he thinks about it.
Yep.
The next series is the National Park series. We talked about it before in this video right here. My son has since read the 4th book and is looking forward to the 5th book of the National Park series. You loved the 4th one.
Oh, yeah.
You thought it was the best one so far. And I know the author has said that the 5th one is his favorite too. So we're looking forward to getting that one. Not necessarily a Christian book, but clean, good themes, adventure, mystery, going into the wild. Along with the wild, Eli, what are you looking forward to this fall?
I read The Wild Robot.
You read all 3 of these books, and we just really wanted to make sure that you are aware that The Wild Robot is now out in theater, and it is getting great reviews from Focus on the Family. My friend Katie from Life in the Mundane really likes it, and so we are excited. We're actually going to be going to see it really soon and excited for that one. But if you haven't, the audiobook for book 1 is fantastic. I love that they're very short chapters, so if you were reading it aloud too, you can just read it quick, set it down, read a couple if the kids are begging you for more. But this is a really fun book for all kids. Lithos Kids has a lot of really great books to help your kids learn more about God. Specifically, they have several books on the Pilgrims Progress. They have some for kids, and then they have this one, which is the Legacy Edition. It includes pictures from other previous books of Pilgrim's Progress, so bringing those all in and then making it so that it's in a more modern language without losing any of the themes or meanings of it. You just read the last chapter in this one. This one was a little bit too much again for my younger boys, so Eli finished it himself. And so what do you think about Pilgrim's Progress?
I think it is a really good book. And the chapters are sort of long, so you can't it's at least 20 minutes.
We actually think that every family should read The Pilgrim's Progress, right?
Yeah.
It has great themes of the Christian's journey, sanctification, the challenges that they will come up against over their lifetime. And I think it's a really good way to prepare yourself. How would I handle those challenges? Oh, that is a sin to do that. Like, even little white lies can cause big problems. And so this is a really, really important book for families to read. For your older kids, maybe grab this one because it is just really beautiful. Also really excited because Lithos Kids just came out with the Mansell Chronicles. We'll put a picture up here. This is written by the same author, John Bunyan, and it's based off of his book, The Holy War, and then turned to be made for kids and more appropriate. The illustrations in this look beautiful. Super excited to get this one next for our reading.
I wanna read it super bad.
Chances are you've heard of S.D. Smith's book, The Green Ember series. He is currently listening to this series. He's really far into it. Are you on the last book? I think maybe you're on the last book.
Yeah, I think I'm on the last book.
I gave this one to him as an audio to do because he is reading so many other things, but sometimes he wants to be working on like his whittling with his hands or other things, and so then he's able to listen. He's actually done dishes while listening to, so big thumbs up for audiobooks. But S.D. Smith really surprised us with a couple of other books that we were not expecting. The first being Mooses with Bazookas. This is one that all of your kids can do together. Your husband will probably enjoy it too. I thought it was
laugh out loud.
a little too silly, but the boys really enjoyed it. We don't have the book. We listened to it in the car, and that was sufficient for us. It was really goofy, just goofy, but great vocabulary for your kids to really consider some other words that maybe you don't use in your everyday vernacular. Then also, when this book was done, we were in the car and I really needed something else to put on quickly, but didn't have a plan. And I knew that I liked S.D. Smith and what we have heard from him so far. So we checked out The Found Boys off of Hoopla. And this one kind of surprised us. Tell us what it's about.
So it's in the 1980s, is that right?
Yeah,
it's in the South, and it deals with like the KKK and racism and redemption.
Yeah, so I was really surprised. I didn't know what this book was going to be about. I thought it was just like these boys playing in the woods and running around. But it's really their first introduction to the KKK. So it was my kids' first introduction to the KKK because we live in Minnesota. It's just not something we come across or talk about. I know when I lived in Georgia for a short time, seeing Confederate flags, and there was still just like such a history with that I was brought up knowing about that time, but we haven't really talked about it with our kids that we're not there in our history lessons yet either. So I got really nervous, but I loved the way S.D. Smith handled it. He dealt with the racism issue super well. These boys actually become friends with a black boy as well, and like they don't think anything about it. They're just running around having fun, but this other boy says, I'm not going up to that house. They have those flags and they burnt crosses in my yard and caused all kinds of problems for my family. My sister can't sleep at night. Like, really expressed like the trauma that was brought in through what the KKK had done to his family. And then there's this whole story of redemption with one of the members that had been part of that. And the main boy that the book is about actually ends up getting baptized by his friend's dad, so by a black preacher, and just bringing the whole community together. This is hands down the way that I would want to introduce this topic to my kids, and you were totally into it, right?
I loved it!
Yeah, it was a really fun little book. I think it just took us barely over an hour to listen to, and really great topics and themes. I have 3 other books actually that I purchased and I haven't shown you yet, and I thought this would be a fun time to tell you about it, other than the one that was sent to us. Yep, that one. Can you hand me that one, buddy? This one is called The Songs of a Warrior. It's a story of David and King Saul. I don't really know anything about it yet, but yeah, I judged the book by its cover. And so I'm excited, from Good Book Company, which I have had great experience with things that they've put out. So we're excited to dig into this one and see. I thought it looked like one that you guys would like. We actually watched the David play from Sights and Sounds too, and that was really good if you can get your hands on like their streaming service or go to the play. I think it's playing next year in one of their locations. That was a really fun one to watch too. Another one I got you is Boys of Grit Who Become Men of Honor. I, again, don't know much about this book. It's got short little stories in each chapter. And I mean, Boys of Grit Who Became Men of Honor, it just sounds really good. There's another S.D. Smith book that you don't know exists. It is called Jack and Zulu. So it sounds like this is about a boy who doesn't really know where he fits in or where he belongs, but there's something about some hidden city that can travel 12 different realms to find out where he truly belongs. What boy wouldn't enjoy something that's a little Star Warsy, a little Hobbity, a little Narnia? I just know that S.D. Smith is going to handle this one really well too, as he has in all of his other books, and so we're excited to see what that one is like too. Let us know what your boy book adventure recommendations are down in the comments, and if you want to see a review of other books that we did earlier in the year, you can check out this video right here. We will also have some Christmas recommendations out soon, so make sure that you are subscribed. Bye-bye!